Let's get it! You see, Starcraft is like a fine wine. Forget that, it's a battle between killer marines and alien xenomorphs. I love this game and I really love it when it's TVZ. And our Terran player in the bottom blue is one of the newest additions to Team Liquid. He is Clem! Our red Zerg player at the top brings his mad skills for Infinity Gaming. He is Denver! Both our players hail from France. I was quite pleasantly surprised to find out that Aligulac actually ranks Clem as number 7 in the world right now. Denver, who's dropping a hatch at his natural right now for his opening build, is ranked number 34 in the world, so he's got his work cut out for him. One positive thing is that the game's being played on Empire. Some people consider Empire to be a Zerg positive map. With that longer rust distance, it's tougher for Terran to stage a number of their favorite pushes. But safety can benefit either race at different points in time. Either way, it looks like both players have opted for standard openings. 16 hatch followed by extractor pool for our Zerg. And Terran's probably showing us a Reaper expand, but we'll have to see here. Clem has never been afraid of long macro games. And that Reaper opening gives you so much versatility. There it is, he starts up the Reaper and he's also sending out an SCV scout. He's going to make sure Denver isn't up to anything sinister. And while he does that, he's going to start his orbital command, and he's going to queue up the minerals for that command center, building it directly at his natural. Clem gambles by doing that blind. He has no information about the Zerg at this point. But you and I know that Denver's pool still hasn't finished, and this is a very safe build. In fact, that hatch pool combo is pretty much going to complete just as the Reaper pops out. We do see that Clem is opting to add that extra marine. We see that more and more from Terran players these days. It's usually used to drive overlords out of the Terran base. With his pool done, Denver goes for double queens and 4 lings. Terran drops that factory, likely in pursuit of that 1-1-1 build. And we see that Clem's scouting SCV is going to be used to try to delay the Zerg third, which is precisely what Denver's trying for right now. It looks like we could have ourselves a worker duel. But the complication is that the Reaper has arrived. And rather than battle lings, I think he's going to hunt that drone. Denver needs to turn him into an extractor. No, the drone's going to try to escape. The Reaper's going to try to hunt him down. Oh, it's a first blood, and it's unusually significant. The clock on Denver's third is officially delayed. That is frustrating for a Zerg player. By no means is it the end of the world. You just don't want to have it happen. Fortunately for Denver, a queen and 4 lings should be enough to bully that Reaper away. Clem gets one last grenade out, and then he's got to go home. Which means we can catch the Terran reactor switch, and make note that a starport is under construction. Clem got all the required building permits, and this building's going to be up to code. Meanwhile, his Rax is going to start a tech lab. But much more interesting is Denver. He started lair tech and a roach warren. I thought he was 2-basing for a second, but there's a drone going out for his third again. Oh my god, is the Reaper going to snipe it again? There's lings here to guard it, but the Reaper seems to be killing them. Oh, the Reaper blocks the hatchery with his body, twice! And then he kills the drone! If Denver wasn't planning a 2-base assault before, he might be now. Clem needs to be thinking about his defense. He's really encouraging the Zerg to become aggressive. The Rax is going to donate that tech lab to the starport. We could be looking at Ravens or Banshees here. Or battlecruisers if we see a fusion core. Denver's still trying for that third. He's slow walking his queens out there to be extra safe. Oh, but Clem's going to see if they're out of position. He's going for the natural. No, queen is there just in time to slam the door. And Denver will finally get that third down if he gets the minerals. Clem swinging around for another potential swipe. Oh, if he gets it again, he's gonna get it again. Terran denies the Zerg third 3 times in a row. And the Reaper's still alive. Denver's going for a Nidus. Good for him, that's one way to vent your rage. Honestly, I'd be on tilt right now. Worm is being summoned. Denver's using an Overlord to sneak it in the main. But Clem does spot it. Great reaction. There's an SCV pull to bring that down, and it's backed by a newly made Banshee. He's gonna get it. The Nidus is gonna complete, but it's just gonna die immediately after. Clem's researching Stim and Cloak at the same time, by the way. And fun fact, Denver has not gone for Ling speed. I think that tells us how significant his commitment to roaches this game is gonna be. Oh, here comes the second Nidus attempt, this time to the northwest. This time he's picked a corner Clem does not have vision to. This time he's gonna get it, and it is loaded with roaches and queens. It's the unit vomit. Denver immediately starts attacking the mineral line at the Terran natural. Clem pulls his SCVs and he's started a bunker. He's also got a third command center almost built, but it's dangerously close to the assault. Fortunately, Terran does have a tank on his ramp in great position. The Zerg can't advance without taking brutal splash damage. Oh, if he manages to leapfrog that closer, it won't matter where the Zerg is. Denver's halted production of everything but roaches. The Queens destroy the Banshee, but they decide it's time to go home. No, they're just flipping to a newly made Nidus worm at the southeast. Denver's trying to work the Terran into a nice push-pull game. Clem's tank just can't be in two places at once. The problem for the Zerg is that Terran still has a huge SCV lead. With his workers continuously pulled, he's not mining a lot. But Terran has the potential to significantly out-resource the Zerg as soon as he gets a second's whistle. Clem's making Vikings. He knows he's got to get those overlords away from his base. It's letting Denver keep sneaking those worms inside. 13 SCV kills. Zerg's getting closer to the damage that he needs to make this work. But Clem is really showing signs of stabilizing at his natural. Terran's got stim now. Just no medevacs to back it up. Denver's adding Ravagers. That's going to give him the tech he needs to go toe-to-toe with those tanks. But not if Clem skillfully repairs it over and over and over. Denver's down to one Nidus location now. But he's still got 6 more roaches he can throw at this. 4 more on the way. After 22 SCV kills, they're actually tied on workers. Normally when you lose 22 SCVs, you've been blown out. Not so here. This is looking pretty tight. If Clem can just clean this up, he'll be ahead on bases. Denver needs to prolong the pain as long as he can. He's starting roach speed. With the Overlord hunting job done, those Vikings have landed. The roaches can handle those. The key is that the Terran defense is anchored by the 2 tanks he's keeping safely back. Denver's smartly keeping his roaches back, trying to satisfy himself by controlling the Terran mineral line at his main. The problem is, with 3 command centers, Terran's got so much mule energy. He's actually slightly outmining the Zerg right now, even after suffering 24 worker kills. I'm just not sure which way this is gonna go. And as soon as I say that, the tank gets position and obliterates the rest of Denver's army. Denver's gonna have to transition now, and it's gonna be tough for him. Oh, Denver says I have to do no such thing. He's just gonna keep building roaches and fight for his corner. I like Clem's position. The slow roaches really can't break the tank bunker position. Oh, is Denver gonna get away with morphing a Ravager? That might be one way he pulls this out. Make that 2 Ravagers. Oh, and Zerg has finally got his 3rd down. It only took 4 attempts in 7 minutes. Let's see how this plays out. The Ravager increases the Zerg firing range to 4 to 6 and makes a huge difference. And oh yeah, there's that corrosive bile thing too. Bam! Tank is gone. Tank is gone. Zerg regains control of the Terran mineral line at the main. Clem does have 1 tank left, but it's not budging from its entrenched position at its natural. Oh, instead he's going to try to do this with SCVs. It's a huge SCV rush, and Zerg's going to run. It's enough to let a Viking bring down one of the Ravagers. Oh, and with a big repair on the Viking, it actually brings down the other Ravager. There's 7 kills on that one Viking. That's quite a lot when you consider there's no lings on the battlefield. Oh, Clem is replenishing his tank count. That doesn't bode well for the Zerg. Fortunately, Denver's 3rd is finishing, and he's going to try to get an upgrade lead by starting an Evo chamber. Clem's going to add combat shields, no engineering bay. But the real story is he's going to float that 3rd out. He's already heavily outmining the Zerg on just 2 mineral fields. What happens when he adds a 3rd? Denver's giving it some thought. He's sending out a roach squad to see if he can shut it down. This bodes well for him. It's completely undefended. Instead, Clem's looking to build his wall with double late engineering bays. It's a free command center. The only problem is it has 1,500 hit points. Denver's looking to press deeper into the Terran base. I don't know if that's a good idea. There's a tank on the high ground. The roach is sniping SCV building that eBay. But that's all he's gonna get. There's just too much defense there. Denver's roach force is slaughtered. And then there's that mad Han Solo Marine chasing down that roach. No, he backs off. There's an overseer slipping into the main. Is this for a scouting report, or is he actually going for another Nidus? It is indeed another Nidus, but there's a tank right there. Clem has declared that location officially off limits. And the Viking whose job it was to chase out those overlords, he's gone on the offense. So has a lone SCV apparently. Is that a bad rally or is he up to something? All I know is that Terran has a significant economic lead at this point. The Queens are on that Viking, who apparently thinks he's a Banshee. He's going after the drones. The pilot's like, oh wait, I got in the wrong vehicle! And my shirt's on backwards and I'm dead. I've had days like that. Oh, Clem's locked down that third now. Oh, Denver, stop moving. I think he's contemplating. Yes! It's the white flag. Clem is the successful Frenchman. Victory for Terran in Game 1. Just before he GG'd, Denver typed a comment in French. Google Translate tells me his comment means something to the effect of, I just can't play, I'm fed up. So, I think it's fair to say Denver's feeling frustration with his game today. But before we see how that mindset affects him in Game 2, let me just make a few quick points. Number 1, it's only about 1 in 100 games that you will ever see Zerg pass on Ling speed at the pro level. It's a very specific strategy. Yeah, I totally made that stat up, but you get the point. Yay us for getting such a rare display. Number 2, I just want to show this in slow-mo for the people who may not be new to Starcraft, but might be returning to the game after a hiatus. They may not know about the Overseer's ability called Oversight, because we just don't get to see it that much. It came in with patch 4.0. It's also quite possibly the only unit ability which is a genuine pun. I'd ridicule it, and the name deserves it, but I have no moral authority to critique bad puns. Anyways, when you activate the ability, the Overseer's vision range increases by 25% and it freezes in place, not unlike an observer. Denver uses it here to enable him to get vision of the Terran base, which he requires in order to place a Nidus. That's a really cool use for it. I'm not sure we can call that a micro moment, but it's a cool thing that deserves mention. Lastly, number 3. What was up with the SCV touring the Zerg base? Was Clem saving scan energy or just trolling Denver? Did it affect Denver's decision to pack it in? Not really sure, but what I am sure about is I'd like to see
Game 2.
He got manhandled in Game 1, but he's got an entire city behind him. 727,000 people. He is Denver! He's not old enough to drink or vote, but he can lay waste to entire armies and civilizations. He is Clem! Personal opinion, technically Clem means merciful or mild, and this kid is anything but. That means he's either the worst named player in all of Starcraft, or it's just delightfully ironic. You decide. Of course, it also happens to be his real and actual name, so there's that too. So far, we've got a repetition of Game 1. Denver going for hatch first. Clem presumably repeating his Reaper expand. There's no real impetus for him to switch it up. I checked out these guys' match history, because since they're both French players, they hit an awful lot. It's pretty ugly for Denver, I'm afraid. But the truth is, most players' match history looks pretty ugly when you type in the word Clem. And here comes Zerg's extractor pool, and it's going to happen right before Terran's racks completes. We're going to be looking to see if Clem's going to send over the SCV he's using to build the racks as soon as it's complete, like he did in Game 1. Remember, that SCV prevented Denver from getting his third down, which set up Clem very nicely for the rest of the game. Yeah, here we go, just like Game 1. We've got an SCV headed out, we've got a Reaper under construction, and we've got a second SCV in position to start that second command center directly at the natural. There it goes. We're playing on the map Everdream, where we've got a rush distance of 37 seconds. So it's going to take a while for that scout to get over there and cause some mischief. In the meantime, I'm just going to admire the Terran satellite dish. You can see that Clem's using a VPN. That's why it looks like he's broadcasting from France. Oh, Denver's got a drone out. I think he's going for his third right now. Oh, he's got the minerals too. He's not messing around. He's just getting it down. He is so not going to repeat Game 1. Clem is just too late. What this means, though, is now that his pool's completed, he only has enough for a single queen. So it's going to be a little bit easier for the Reaper to try to get something done here. Oh, the second queen's on order now, but it's delayed. There's going to be 4 lings coming out on the map. Can they keep the Reaper busy long enough for the queens to hatch? Clem looks ready to micro. He needs something to do while he's waiting for his factory to finish. Denver's got to rotate those lings. He's doing fantastic, but he's going to have no fresh lings left. They're all in the red, and that's our first blood. I don't know what more Denver can do. He needs that queen. His first one's arrived, but it's down at the natural. Oh, the grenade kills a drone and a ling. Somebody tell Clem the KD8 charge only does 5 damage. Somehow he just hit 2 targets that were softened up at the same time, a ling and a drone. And now he's going to show us the sweet macro of the reactor switch. A ritual that is truly timeless. The making of the reactored Hellions, the starport, and the tech lab on the racks. Sometimes it just gets me right there, a little choked up. Hey, Denver's getting ling speed this game. That's definitely different than game 1. And his third is up. And that annoying Reaper is still around. That has got to be so annoying. Why won't you die? Because I have combat drugs and heal 2.8 hit points per second. Remember, kids, do not do drugs. Unless they're combat drugs. Look at that. That Reaper's got the attention of all 3 of Denver's queens. It won't be long before it links up with a pair of Hellions. Here they come now. Oh, Roach Warren for the Zerg. Oh, Banshee with Cloak for the Terran. That is not great for Denver. Last I checked, Roaches do not shoot up. And Banshees definitely shoot down. The queen count is at 3 at least. But before we even get to those Banshees, Zerg is first going to have to survive the machinations of 4 Hellions. And a super annoying Reaper that just won't die and has 3 kills on it. They're piercing into creep. Denver's queens are there to cut them off. Clem pulls back. Oh, and he's starting a third behind this. I remember listening to Cyril in an interview where he discusses that cautious Hellions are actually worse than the ones that jump in and go for your drones. According to Cyril, he'd much rather just trade them out so he doesn't have to worry about where are they and what are they going to do next. Oh, huge round of 9 Roaches for Denver. This isn't just defensive. He's got a counterattack planned. And he's starting it early by sending out a pack of lings. Does Clem know? Because he's pulling back. I like this for Denver because he really doesn't want his lings wherever the Hellions are. So they might as well try to snack on that wall for as long as they can get away with it. Picking up the building SCV is a nice start. Oh yeah, the Hellions are definitely coming back, so this attack is on a timer. Can he force a cancel on that command center? Clem's going to try to repair it. He's also making an emergency bunker. Oh, total barbecue. Oh, Hellions are pretty good against lings. Denver says, that's why I made Roaches. Clem says, that's why I made a couple Banshees. Denver is dominating the ground war right now, but there's nothing to stop those Banshees. In theory, it should take 6 volleys from a Banshee to drop a Roach. That should give it plenty of time to do damage. But with 2 of them working together, they can do it in 3. Denver's not going to give up. He's going to push in. He's not going all in, though. He is droning up heavily behind this. Which is good, because he's going to want to transition from this slaughter. Oh, he totally is. He's making a lair. Clem, on the other hand, has got Stim on the way. Well, the Lings are a nice addition. They're sowing a lot of chaos, and if they stay mobile, they'll be harder for the Banshees to get on top of. He's got Clem to pull his SCVs. That's good. Terran's actually enjoying a worker lead at this stage. So anything he can do to slow down the Terran mining is huge. Unfortunately, he no longer has an army apart from Queens and Lings. There's that lair halfway done. I wonder what Denver's thinking. Mutas would be one option because they can shut down the Banshees. They're just unfortunately a long ways away. And the aforementioned Banshees are already on their way to attack. The Lings are going to spot that and report back. Denver's going to get himself a spore at each of his 3 base locations. And they should be there in time. Clem started 1-1 out of double eBays, by the way. That's going to give him a window later on. Oh, as soon as I say that, Denver starts double Evo chambers. He's ahead of me. But is he ahead of these Banshees? They've cloaked and they're looking to kill something. Working in concert, they can one-shot a drone. And Clem's going to give us a live demo of that. Denver's going to set up one of those in-between bases spores. That's very useful. It'll help cut down on the usable space that the Banshees have. 4 drone kills. Denver will take that. Oh, he is going to start a Spire. He's just going to have to find a way to survive till it completes. No Baneling nest and no Roaches on the floor. Clem's feeling comfortable. He's going to send out his 3rd. Denver knows or suspects it. He's sending out his Lings to check it out. Great timing. He's going to be able to delay that. And as an added bonus, he's forced those Banshees to come back. Banshees are terrific for defense, but a Terran player really wants their Banshees at their opponent's base where they can use them to stress their opponent out. Oh, Terran's attack upgrade window is about to start. Does Clem plan to use it? Oh, he is. He's sending out a tank supported by Marines. Oh, this is bad for the Zerg. Denver's got nothing but queens and lings while he waits for his spire to complete. Oh, there's a pair of medevacs too. Oh, I'm not getting the game to revive here. Denver's gonna have to sack his third and get some roaches together. Or, as it turns out, he could double tap the G key on his keyboard. Oh, bit of a one-sided game there. Fun fact, both of Clem's Banshees lived. One had 19 kills, the other 17. Yikes! It looks to me like Denver made a very deliberate build order adjustment from game 1. He grabbed his third early to successfully thwart Clem's effort to deny his third base. This left him short on funds after his spawning pool finished, and he didn't have the defense a Zerg normally enjoys when defending a Reaper. Clem capitalized there, like immediately. To make matters worse, Clem had invested heavily in Banshees, while Denver went for Roaches. That's not a total rock, scissor, paper win, but it's advantage Terran. And Clem with an advantage? That's a tough game to survive. I don't want anybody thinking Denver's a weak player. Not the case. Check out the game I posted on this channel where he goes toe-to-toe against Cyril. The dude can play. Anywho, Vive la France and Vive la TVZ. To continue your Starcraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your Starcraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang Starcraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.